Alright, what's up guys? So, a couple of things here. First of all, I usually have my video cam on the top right corner, but I'm seem to be having issues with the OBS system, and it no longer detects Chrome browser, and then when I even open up Internet Explorer, it just comes completely blank white. So I have to figure out how to fix that issue. If you have any idea, please let me know in the comment section so that way I can get that sorted out. But yeah, so if this video seems a little choppy, because I do have to edit out some of the beginning and some of the end, so it shouldn't be too terrible. So bear with me, be patient, and hopefully everything else here will work out. Second thing, so I wanted to go ahead and start a new series on this video. I know I've been doing just a whole bunch of pack openings. I know I did one deck profile, and I should have another one uploaded here by the end of the week, maybe one or two more. And so deck profiles, I have pack openings. The other thing I wanted to do was a series called First Impressions. Now I think other PokeTubers, I don't know if they've used that term, first impressions, or first thoughts or something like that, but basically when a new card is revealed from a future expansion, I want to go ahead and give my thoughts on it, my first impressions, as you will, on it, and see how good is it going to be? What are some current thoughts, strategies behind it that maybe we can possibly think of? And, things like that. Like I said, you've seen a bunch of PokeTubers do this. I know PTCG Radio does a really great job, analyzing every part of the card. And then Yellow Swallow also gives his first thoughts or his first impressions as well. And so I just wanted to also contribute that, like I said before in one of my earlier videos, that the more I guess, thoughts or the more opinions that are out there, the better for you guys. So that way, you get an idea of what you can do with these cards. Maybe I'll say something that none of the other PokeTubers have said, or we'll trade off of those thoughts and things like that. So that way, you guys aren't alone in your own thinking. It's not like, oh yeah, I thought of that, but no one else has said that. Why not? And hopefully someone will say it, and you're like, you know what? I have a pretty good idea. Maybe I should go with this. So yeah, I wanted to start off that new series, and especially since Forbidden Light, the new expansion that's coming out in, oh man, I think it's in May. It says it right there, May 4th in America. So that's us. March in Japan, so we should be seeing a lot more cards coming out soon. But we've already got a few of the GXs revealed, so I just wanted to go ahead and start off with those, and then you guys let me know what you guys think. And yeah, I just wanted to continue doing this because it's a lot of fun. So here we go, starting with the I don't know if it was the first one that was revealed, but I'm going to start off with it anyway. The Yveltal GX, or Yveltal, however you want to call it. It was one of the new GX cards that's going to be released for Forbidden Light. And first of all, I just want to say the art on that card is awesome. I've never seen such a fierce Yveltal before. I mean, you almost have the entirety of the creature right there, and it makes me excited for the full art card. So I'm really looking forward to this card and collecting it. Now, as far as its stats, it's a dark Pokemon, which isn't too terrible. It is weak to lightning, which isn't that bad because there's not a lot of lightning decks out there right now. Raichu GX and maybe Tapu Koko GX are the only ones, but hardly anyone's playing them. Now the resistance to fighting is pretty good just because of Buzzwole going around in the meta decks, that Buzzwole Lock and Rock deck. So, Buzzwole won't be able to knock you out completely because it does, 160 plus the choice band's 190, so the resistance is 170, so you're barely hanging on there. But let's see if it can retaliate. So the first attack, for 1 darkness energy, you get Absorb Life, 20 damage, and then you heal from this Pokemon the same amount of damage you did to your opponent's active Pokemon. It's okay. It could be better. You could make it better if you add a choice band to it. So on an EX or GX, you're doing 50, you're healing 50. Or you could do Fighting Fury Belt, which in that case you're only really doing 30, then you're healing 30. So it's just so low. I think if the damage output was maybe, 10 more, 20 more, you know, it might be a little bit reasonable, but as of right now, it's just, I guess it's just a nice way to kind of poke at your opponent and heal at the same time. You know, it's okay. The next attack, let's see, we got Evil Sonic for 100 damage, 3 energy. This attack's damage isn't affected by weakness or resistance, so you are just doing a flat 100. Okay, so there is a pro to this in the sense that it's techable, meaning that we can put it into any deck and you can still use this attack. It's 3 colorless energy. You know, bonus is that you get to use a DCE, a double colorless energy. So really it's just 2 energy attachments. And you do the 100 damage, which knocks out a lot of the basic Pokemon, obviously. Now, with a, what's it called? Reverse Valley or it's the other one. I can't remember what it's called, but it's the one that powers up Dragon-type Pokemon. It's 110 in total, so essentially you are 2-shotting most GXs and EXs. It's not the best. There's not a lot to say about that attack. I wish it was a little bit more, maybe 120, and without weakness resistance, that would have been probably a little bit better. But as of right now, it's just kind of meh. There's nothing really else to talk about it. Now the GX account is interesting. So for 1 darkness energy, which is really good, you know, any 1 energy GX attack is very doable. Death Count GX. If your opponent's active Pokemon has exactly 4 damage counters on it, it is knocked out. Yeah, there's a lot you can do there. Now, the trick part too is that it has to have exactly 4 damage counters. I don't think that is an error. I'm pretty sure it's gonna have to be exactly 4. Now, you gotta have to be careful how you go about that. Tapu Koko promo, obviously you can do 2 rounds of that, you know, 20 damage all across, so 2 rounds of it do 40. Decidueye comes to mind, 2 Decidueye Feather Arrows, then you can go ahead and death count it, but then you're kind of playing a mix of grass and dark, which is kind of awkward. It is an okay GX attack. So actually, it's a very good GX attack. It's just very, very specific. Reminds me of the Darkrai GX attack, where if it has a condition, then it's completely knocked out. So this one is just, it bases it off damage. Like I said, this is a very techable card. You can put it into a lot of decks, and if you have at least that 1 darkness energy, well, there you go. You have a backup just in case. Building a deck around Yveltal, probably not very doable at all. So overall, he's okay. You know, 3 out of 5 stars, however you want to go about it. The 2 attacks it's got are meh. The Death Count GX is actually really good. Alright, so moving on from that, we're going to go into the next one, which is the lovely Xerneas GX. I guess Xerneas is really, really popular. He's got, well, I guess just like Yveltal, I mean, he's got like a whole bunch of the little mini Xerneas cards, the Geomancy one, the Rainbow Force one, and then you have the Xerneas Break, which are very, very good. So hopefully this GX is up to par. We'll see. First of all, you are a fairy Pokemon, so Metal is an issue, especially since Metal is now a highly popular deck with Duskmane, Magnezone running around. But you are resistant to Dark, so you won't be hit so hard with the Zoroark GXs that are in like every deck right now. His 120 will only hit you for 100, so he's still 2-shotting you regardless. 180 HP, it's kind of standard, nothing special there. Now his first attack. For 1 colorless energy, okay, again, techable. 20 damage, this attack does 20 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Okay, so it's very similar to Buzzwole in the sense that, you know, you do damage to the active, you do damage to the back. It's a nice little way of spreading damage. It's a little underwhelming. 20 damage isn't a whole lot, considering that for Buzzwole, he does 30 to the front and 30 to the back. I feel like they could have made Xerneas a little bit better. maybe have like the Xerneas version of Buzzwole. But, you know, it is what it is. It's okay. You know, it's always nice to be able to spread damage, so that added bonus of doing damage to one of your bench Pokemon is not too bad. And if you think about it, 2 of these actually sets up Yveltal GX's attack, so you could essentially play an Yveltal Xerneas deck, even though that would get like really, really messy, but you know, it's a thought. The second attack is pretty straightforward. Aurora Horn for 3 energy, you do 120 damage. Now it's 2 fairy energy and 1 colorless, which means you have to do 3 individual attachments to it, not like 2 where you can do 1 fairy, 1 double colorless. Nope, it's 2 fairy energies, well essentially 3 fairy energies, and then you can do the 120 damage, so you're 2-shotting just about every EX or GX Pokemon. With the choice band, it puts up to 150, but even then, that's not enough really to do much. I think you're better off with a Fighting Fury Belt on this one, since its attacks are so low. What else can I say about it? Yeah, it's just the 2 fairy energies and the third one being whatever. It's 3 turns unless you use Max Elixir, but in a few months we're going to lose Max Elixir in the rotation, so you can't heavily rely on that, especially if you want to keep going with this deck in the future. I'm trying to think what else. You could combo it with the Gardevoir GX, use Secret Spring to add those energies to it, and yeah, I mean, like I said, it's a pretty straightforward attack. It's okay. I think I like this one better than the Yveltal GX's second attack. But there's nothing really too much special, again, to say about it. So let's move on to its final attack, the GX attack. For the same amount of energy and same type, 2 fairy and a colorless, you do Sanctuary GX. Move all damage counters from each of your Pokemon to your opponent's active Pokemon. So it basically takes a Alolan Ninetales GX attack and says, I can do anything better than you. So it's not just your own Xerneas' damage. You're taking all the damage has been done to your bench to the opponent's active, which could easily result in a one-hit KO. I'm thinking, so Tapu Koko has a round on you, that's what, 20 times 6, that's 120. You know, let him go 2 rounds, that's 240. Due to Sanctuary GX, one-hit KO your opponent. It's an really, really, really good Sanctuary GX. And overall, this card I feel is a lot better than the Yveltal. Again, this is a techable card. You know, 1 or 2 in a Gardevoir GX deck for sure, especially for that GX attack. Not a lot of people really use Gardevoir's GX attack that often. So I would give this probably a 3.5. You know, 3.5, maybe a 4 out of more than Yveltal for sure. Just because it's more doable, you can technically build a deck around it because of that 120. You know, again, being able to 2-shot anything very easily. Yeah, it's an okay card. I'm kind of surprised though, because at first glance, you know, these 2 cards, it's very underwhelming, especially since these had been like the most popular decks in the world. Yveltal had his own little other prints to it where we had the evil, was it Yveltal, something like that, where he does more damage, more energy there are attached. And then he had the Y Cyclone attack, which was also pretty good. And then there was the Dark Spear Yveltal, the accelerated energy. I think it's Dark Spear or Dark Wing, something like that. So to see their GX attacks, thinking, you know, these are going to be even more amazing, and then they're not, it's a bit of a surprise, but it's okay. There's still one more GX attack, or GX card to talk about. Now, they released a few more here, and I'm not going to go into all of these. You can look at these at your separate time. I mean, I can just briefly go over this. Lysander Prism Star. So for each fire Pokemon, you put the same number of cards from your opponent's discard pile into your Lost Zone. It's okay. I don't think there's a need for that. Well, I guess so. If you don't want your opponent recovering any Pokemon or any supporters or things like that, this would be kind of handy. But again, this is very specific to fire, so you would have to play a fire deck in order to make that work. Diancie is definitely going to see some play, mainly for its ability. It's a 1-of, but that's because its ability is just like Regirock's, where it powers up fighting type moves, but it does 20 more instead of 10 more. And it's only for your active. Well, regardless, it's your active's gonna be on attacking anyway. So that extra 10 more that it does than Regirock is actually very nice. And since we're gonna be losing Regirock anyway in the rotation, then this is a good substitute for it. Malamar is actually very, very good. It's definitely going to see a lot of experimental play, just because of the energy acceleration attack. Once during your turn, you may attach a psychic energy card from your discard pile to one of your bench Pokemon. Psychic Pokemon needed this so much, especially now more than ever. So now there's a lot more psychic decks that are going to be hopefully actually see more play. Lunala especially, so that we can get those attacks going. The main event is this guy here, Zygarde GX. Now, this one's a doozy because you actually need 2 cards to combo this. You need this card for sure, and first of all, the artwork is insane. I love this, and again, I hope that they keep this art or this position that he's in for the full art. It'd be so awesome. But 200 HP. That's a lot. Better than Buzzwole. I think the only 2 cards that beat it are the Wishy-Washy GX and the Guzzlord GX. They have 210. This one is 200. Fighting Fury Belt puts it up at 240. Like I said, it's insane. Now, for a double cardless energy, it does 50 damage, Cell Connector, but you also get to attach 2 fighting energy from your discard pile to this Pokemon. So you are essentially accelerating yourself, and if you're like the first to attack, this is an incredible, awesome setup because you already do some damage, and you are going ahead and attach your own energy. So it's adding like Carbink Breaks, Diamond Gift, all in one. Only the damage output is a heck of a lot better, which leads to the second attack. Land's Wrath for 2 fighting energy and a double cardless, so you've already set yourself up the previous turn. You do 130 damage straight, so that automatically 2-shots every EX or GX out there. There's nothing else that can really top it unless you put like what is it called? The bodybuilding dumbbells on I don't know, Sylveon? Sylveon is 240. You get the idea. I mean, a fighting Fury Bell. No, not even. No, nothing can beat it. Nothing. Oh, no, I just remembered. Ignore everything I said. A Gyarados GX with a bodybuilding dumbbells. Because Gyarados GX has 240, and then with the bodybuilding dumbbells has 280. But Field Blower, enough said. Anyway, 130 plus you did 50 from the previous damage. Together that does 180, so you can easily knock out a Tapu Lele as long as it doesn't hit you. That might be dangerous. Or a lot of other GX or EX Pokemon. So this is really good. This is really, really good, especially if you add Choice Band to this, or you add that Diancie I just talked about. Yeah, it's just incredible. And we haven't even gotten to the GX attack, which on its own is just ridiculously stupid. So for the same amount of energy as Lance Wrap, 2 fighting, 1 double cardless, you do 150 damage. Choice Band puts it up to 180. During your opponent's next turn, this Pokemon takes no damage from the attacks of your opponent's Pokemon GX and EX. Free immunity. That's it. You knock out a Tapu Lele, and then you're just pretty much telling your opponent, go ahead and see what you can do, because you can't do anything. Your Zygarde is just safe. Now, what would be better is if you could have free immunity for multiple turns, because then that, obviously, that would kind of cause the game to be broken, so they gotta be like, well, it's a GX attack, so you can only use once per game. But wait, they've got this girl here, Bonnie. Bonnie just says, forget everything you knew about Pokemon GX attacks, because Zygarde is here to stay. Now, I kind of like not the synergy, well, no, there's synergy between the cards, but in the anime, Bonnie was protecting Squishy, as she called it, the Zygarde core. You know, they had that close bond, and to put a bonding supporter to help Zygarde GX, I thought was pretty neat. I liked it. But here's what it does. So you can only play this card if there's a stadium card in play. Okay, that's fair. A lot of people are playing stadiums. Discard a stadium in play, so it doesn't have to be yours. It could be someone else's. During this turn, your Zygarde GX may use its GX attack even if you've already used a GX attack this game. You could essentially just spam Judgment GX for 4 turns, maybe 6 if you really do order pad correctly and manage to draw into those bounties, and just keep attacking and attacking and attacking, and then be able to be immune from any GX or EX attack. That is ridiculously stupid. I don't know how anyone would manage to get through that. I feel like there's going to be a lot of budget decks that are going to try to gain some popularity here. Now you do have the Garchomp and the Empoleon decks that can hit that 200, but if you do Fighting Fury Belt on him, he doesn't die. Not even with choice bands on those 2 Pokemon. They would need support. Like the Garchomp would need to be the Fighting Garchomp, so you can add the strong energy with the choice band. That would do it. But we don't have the Fighting Garchomp yet, and I think it's going to come out at the same time as this. But 200 is just ridiculous. And by the time you get your Garchomp up, this guy's probably already to GX attack you. He just needs a Fighting Fury Belt to do 160 to knock out your Garchomp. Not even that. I think Garchomp even only has 150. So, yeah, this is crazy. I'm not looking to build a deck out of this one, although you easily can. And if you maybe pair it with Buzzwole, it might get even a lot more dangerous. But, yeah, it's insane. This is probably going to be the highlight right here. And this is going to be the money card probably for that expansion. Now, I know what else we're getting. We're getting the Ganondorf GX, and I think another one. The one I am waiting for the most is a Greninja GX. It's already been confirmed that it's coming in this set, but we haven't gotten a review for it. You know, we got these 3, you know, one right after another, just like that, but no Greninja GX yet. We found the Froakies, you know, we saw some Braixens and some Delphoxes, but not a single, like, we can look at the art for it, because I think there was that poster that Japan tweeted out that had Greninja GX in there, so we know it's water type, we know it has an ability, but we don't know anything else. And that's the deck I want to make, because Greninja is one of my favorite Pokemon, and I love the Greninja Break deck when that was out, and it's struggling to compete in the meta. It's still doable, it's just so slow. So if this Greninja GX turns out to be a heck of a lot better, I'm going to be so excited. But I think as of right now, this card, the Zygarde GX, is going to be the go-to card for this expansion. And yeah, that is pretty much it. I know, like I said, there was other cards revealed. Obviously, I'm using PokeBeach as the main site. You know, we had the Esper, the Lady Full Art, but I might get to those another time. I really just wanted to highlight the GXs as the first episode for this series. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know your thoughts on these cards, if you think they're any good, or you see or think of any other strategy that I haven't. And yeah, we'll just go from there. I have a couple other videos coming up soon. Like I said, another deck profile or 2. I'm about to record, or I'm going to be recording my binder that I told you guys about, that I was putting together, my master set binder. And then I did buy some more cards, so I do have another pack opening coming up soon. I don't know in which order I'm going to be uploading these videos, so if you've already seen the other one, surprise! If not, then yay, stay tuned, and you get to find out what else is coming. So, thank you guys for watching. Again, please like, subscribe, leave any comments that you would like, and I will see you all in the next video. Later.